Welcome into No Punt Intended, presented by Club Fantasy. Oh boy, we're back, and it is semifinals week. Wow, there's been an up and down roller coaster of a season, and now supposedly, the probably, I don't know the stats, but a number one fantasy quarterback, maybe overall, is hurt. So congratulations to all you that have Jalen Hurts and are scrambling for a backup this week. I heard Gardner Minshew's available, right, Ryan? Giving me the thumbs up, and very excited about him. I think he's even wearing his favorite man's jersey today. He grew out the mustache enough to make Gardner proud. Let's get into it, everybody, as soon as I can find the intro. Welcome in to No Punt Intended, presented by Club Fantasy. I am your host, Joe Zollo. As always, Josh, Ryan. I was scrambling to find the intro because I was so fucking focused on what I was going to talk about.
I love it because what you don't know is that's the second time this week because Josh was like, let's start that video on his intro on Monday. And I'm like, I always mess up.
No, it was when I had to it was last week when I was doing the show.
Oh, okay. I thought, you're right. It was last
Oh, it's video time. And you're like,
it's video time. Yes. That was the best ever.
That's just Josh being bad at hosting.
Yes.
This is me.
Why I don't do this.
This is me focused on something that is, just needs to be said.
Few things to clear up. It's still a Donovan McNabb jersey. I do not have a Gardner Minshew jersey, but I did make sure to shave the mustache specifically for tonight's show.
And you made sure to only make sure that the fives were in view. Yeah.
Well, I don't have much choice. It's only a 5. It doesn't go. I guess I could do this the whole show.
That's true. So, yeah, what I was focused on, ladies and gentlemen, there's a team by the name of the New England Patriots that, I don't even know. I listen to sports radio all week in Boston. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie to you. It may help that I'm one step closer to Bailey Zappi being the full-time starting quarterback, so that would be fun. But here's my breakdown of that. They deserve to fucking lose. Not even a question. They deserve to lose. Was the Keelan Cole touchdown a touchdown? Fuck no. Fuck no, it was not a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Are we blind? What is NFL officiating anymore?
Yeah.
But that didn't matter, right? If he doesn't catch that, Vegas still has 2 more tries to get a first down, not even get in the end zone, to get a first down. That didn't change the game, in my opinion.
What did?
Ramondre Stevenson didn't change the game, in my opinion. Jacoby fucking Myers changed the game. That was it, right? Also, Mac Jones fucking sucks. Started 6 of 8 and then finished 7 of 23. You at home had more pass completions than Mac Jones. It's fucking sad how bad he played. That was his worst game, I think, as a professional, to the point where he didn't turn the ball over 17 times, because that's incomparable. That is the word. I was sitting there, I'm like, they're going to win this game, and Mac Jones has 112 passing yards. He got 38 of them on one play. What the fuck are we doing? Ramondre Stevenson, awesome game. 172, touchdown. That man will be a first-round pick in fantasy football next year.
Indeed.
Undoubtedly. 3rd most receptions in the NFL behind McCaffrey and Austin Eckler. Name me someone more valuable that could be a potential on your fantasy team. You probably can't at this point. Also, fuck Aaron Jones for scoring 4 more points instead of me trying to beat fucking Ryan. Damn, I was so excited. Also, Ryan was projected to beat me by 70 points, and he only won by 4. So, feel good.
Hey, it's one of those moral victories from a on the cusp dynasty team.
Yeah, fucking moral victory. I could have been in the semis. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell that sort of football was. The NFL officiating still sucks. Mac Jones still sucks. Indeed. Matt Patricia should be fired. Marcus Jones is the greatest cornerback to ever live on the face of this planet. Locked up clamps on Devontae Adams. No Jack Jones. Jonathan Jones is an absolute bum. He got burned by Mac Hollins, who I'm fairly positive runs like a 5.2 40. And Jonathan Jones runs a 4.3 clocked. How? So terrible. Hunter Henry dropping footballs. God, I'm so happy Jonnu Smith is our best fucking receiving option right now.
Yeah, you called it.
God, the thing that sucks, Jacoby Myers was open like all game, and he toasted the shit out of that DB on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Just a little whoop, whoop, see ya. And yeah, it is what it is. We're not going to make the playoffs. I personally would like Mac Jones to never put on a Patriots uniform again because it is painful watching him play. But let's get into the fun stuff. Like Jonathan Taylor also not playing.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts also not playing. But you know who is playing, folks? Nick fucking Foles is playing this week. So for all you Michael Pittman owners, who were super excited, you know what Jeff Saturday just said to you? Fuck you. That's what they said. Because Michael Pittman had a money matchup this week against the Chargers. And now, you can kiss that goodbye because...
Hey, Nick Foles knows how to throw to big-bodied wide receivers. That's all I'm saying. Alshon Jeffrey did okay with Nick Foles.
When he comes in relief and then turns into the starter, yes, I agree. When it is thrust upon him midweek, no, Josh. We all know Nick Foles cannot prepare for a game. He needs to be thrust into it with no concept of the game plan. And then he just goes out and wins. We know that's who Nick Foles is. This is a shit show. LA should win by 1,000,000 points. So, yeah. And Z-Money, yes, we are. We're just breaking down some injuries and some dumb fucking shit that Jeff Saturday's pulling out of his ass for Monday Night Football, starting Nick Foles. Colt McCoy is out Sunday night. So Trace McSorley, the official starter. Let's go, baby. We'll get there soon. Ryan Tannehill, Titans fans, thank God he didn't practice. Wow, is that guy bad? I mean, he's had up and down, like 100%. He's had an up and down year. But I think he
mostly down.
Mostly down. But like there's been a couple games in fantasy. Like I think he had a stretch of 3 games. He was at 20, 25 points a game, which is startable. I picked him up because I saw this, like, oh, good stretch. Got me 7 that week. He didn't practice Wednesday. He's been on Ryan's shit list for 2 years now.
I don't know if this is, he's showing his out on fantasy data already, and the most recent headline is likely out for the season. So,
I mean, at this point, like Jacksonville looks like they might win that division. Yeah. So get Malik Willis some reps, and hey, if you make the playoffs as somehow you win your division and you lose the first round, great. Malik Willis has some more reps, but Malik Willis hasn't looked much better than Ryan Tannehill. So, I mean, at least, he gives you a glimmer of hope on the ground. But, thanks for throwing this one in there. Happy birthday to White Iverson himself, Hunter Renfrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wish Derek Carr would, understand where he is on the football field and throw to him. So, okay. Some questions before we get into upside. Thanks for letting me go on my little Patriots thing, guys. I really need to get that out.
We started warning people on Monday that that's all you were going to do. I'm actually shocked by how subdued you are. I guess
it's been
jumping into the show right from work.
It's been 72 hours.
Okay.
I slept outside upside down in a snowbank on Sunday night to clear my head, make sure I was all good. Had some Mexican food, and I still
makes everything better.
I still came to the conclusion that I hate Mac Jones, and
that's all fair.
And I was right about him going into the draft, and that's what I'm resting my laurels. I was right about Mac Jones. That's where I'm at right now. I was right about Mac Jones, and Anthony. Dang, what a quit. Also, at one point last week, I think a guy named Jeff Davis was top 5 in receiving yards last week. This is week fucking 15, people. Why is Jeff Davis? There was a dude at some point in the 1:00 games. I don't know if his name was
Smith from the
Jeff
Jets.
Smith.
Oh,
yes.
okay. I was like, I don't know.
You had me
Jeff
confused.
Davis.
I'm like, what?
It was the whitest name known to mankind.
There
Jeff Smith. That's a name they write like Johnny Appleseed on your test to make up a fictitious person. Jeff Smith had 83 receiving yards. I'm like, that's cool. I think, like Michael Pittman has like 5. So that's fun. God, I hate this game. Grab 2 QBs off the waiver, Minshew and Goff. He doesn't need them. Simply to block his opponent from doing so since they had Hurts and no backup. Jerk move or fair play?
Fairest of play.
Round of applause, standing ovation.
Oh, yeah.
There was a guy in my league who picked up 7 quarterbacks off the waiver wire because somebody had a quarterback that was injured with no backup. He literally had to play the week with no quarterback because the other guy picked up every single starting QB.
Yeah.
Now, bold strategy, might I add, because you need to have
My only issue with this
bench.
would be if you somehow are not in the playoffs.
Okay,
and
yeah,
your
that's
opponent
rude.
is like, you're playing like the 5th place game or something. That's the only time that I'm like, all right,
You
let's
need to be
pump the brakes
in.
a little.
You need to be
like
playing
you need to be
for
like
something.
competing, or if you're like, you're fighting for like the toilet bowl like loser spot.
Toilet
like,
bowl is fair game.
Yeah, exactly, 1000%.
Yes.
Yeah, I say in some leagues, I have even seen where they prefer the toilet bowl lets waivers pass, and then they do first come first serve free agency. But I'm fine with if you're playing for something, toilet bowl included. It's fair game. I've actually talked about this in a few articles this past month. So
Yes, sir.
wonderful.
As far as how worried are we about the weather? I imagine this is just a general Elliott.
Well, there's a lot of the
question.
games. That are
Cleveland and
outdoors
Chicago.
north.
Cleveland and Chicago are rough. I'm very worried about those 2 games.
Yeah, I mean,
here's the thing. I'm not as worried. And I'll tell you why. Remember when everybody was up in arms about the Buffalo game on Saturday night, how it was supposed to be like so frigid and the winds and snow all over the ground? Like, they clear the shit out.
The wind is what I'm worried about.
The wind is a worrisome.
Yeah, Cleveland is. I have never been to Chicago. I've been to Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland Stadium. I've been to Cleveland Stadium in wind. Cleveland Stadium is literally on the lake, and it forms a wind tunnel. The wind comes in and gets trapped and spirals around. It's fucking insane in the wind. So
that's why that stadium is absurd. I mean, it's a great day for Nick Chubb, but
hopefully, I know he was on the injury report too.
Yeah, I have a bone to pick with the NFL Network broadcast. Okay, I thought that it was like negative 20 degrees in Buffalo by the way they were bundled up and acting. I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be like, are they gonna even be able to catch the football because it's so cold outside? They show game time temperature 28. I'm like, you bitches.
Well, I mean, the overblownness of the snow in that game, all of it was. We got it. And what's funny is they were putting up those pictures in the morning, and I'm 4.5 hours away from Buffalo, but they were putting those pictures up in the morning showing the snow in Buffalo as of 7 a.m. I'm like, I just got the same storm. It's not that fucking bad, and they're going to have that cleared. So I did not panic at all, but the way it was hyped up, people panicked, and they had every right to if you looked at the way it was hyped up. But, man, just much ado about nothing.
I was very mad at the NFL Network broadcast. They were just like, oh, it's so cold outside. I'm like, no. Yeah. No, it's currently negative 38 in Bismarck, North Dakota. Come here, play a fucking football game, and then tell me it's cold. Okay, thank you. That's for those counting, that is a 60-degree swing. Negative 38 to plus 30. That's basically, it's a 60-degree swing. If I told you it was 20 outside and 80, you would be running around like a madman. So happy. So I am praying for 30-degree weather right now. Z Money, the 15th, right? That's the 15th XV. Thoughts on Ayuki? He sold me with 3 points. I can replace him with Olave or Christian Watson. San Fran plays Washington this week at home.
Yep.
Olave plays a team.
In that Cleveland game.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot play Chris Olave this week.
Nope, that's out. And Christian Watson is in Miami. I have it in mind. I think Green Bay lays an absolute freaking egg in Miami.
Okay. And that's what I was interested in, is what your thoughts are on that game. Because Watson, even last week, didn't have a terrible game. He wasn't as bad as Ayuk.
He just didn't score. And that's kind of what we're used to with him. He's been putting up touchdowns since like week 9, I think, or something.
So here's the thing I like about Watson is there's going to be a lot of garbage time in that game, and he will probably benefit from that. So I would lean Watson. I've never been an Ayuk fan. Washington secondary, I would say, is comparable to Miami's.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Miami's is bad, and I don't think Washington's is much better.
Fantasy points wise, they're almost next to each other. You're absolutely right. So
yeah, I would
actually
are
within 1 catch and 1 yard of each other. So great call on that, Joe.
I would put Watson ahead, just because of garbage time. I think San Francisco gets up on Washington early and just throttles them, because I don't think Washington has the offense to combat them unless they can figure out how to pass protect and get McLaurin, Samuel, and Jahan Dotson open. Because talk about a bad secondary, the corners for San Francisco suck right now with Emmanuel Mosley being out since like week 4. So I think you're going to have more garbage time. I have Aaron Rodgers outside the top 20, spoiler alert. But if garbage time commences, obviously Rodgers and Christian Watson will benefit from that. So I'll go Watson.
I'm fine with Watson. I don't hate Ayuk this week, but the way that Purdy's been throwing the football, it really hasn't been to Ayuk's side of the field. Like, they're looking more in the center and underneath, so that kind of benefits more of Kittle and Christian McCaffrey.
Washington, very good against the tight end, but I'm still going with Christian Watson in this one. So,
someone asked me the other day, they're like, would you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo or Mac Jones? I'm like, I'd rather have fucking Brock Purdy than Mac Jones. Like, at least that dude could throw an out route in a deep ball. Granted, he underthrew Ayuk immensely on that touchdown pass, and I stand by my statement that would have been picked in any other scenario. He completed a pass.
I was going to say,
touchdown.
One's a 7th round pick, and you expect that kind of shit. The other, not so much.
The other played at fucking Alabama.
Yeah.
Another one from Z Money. Njoku, he's questionable. Should I get Waller? If that wind is any form of anything in Cleveland, Deshaun Watson is still on his 4th NFL game in 2 years. I don't think his arm strength is nearly there to put that thing through the wind. Waller had a good game. I'd go Waller.
I tend to avoid red flags, and that whole Cleveland game is a red flag right now. I'm worried about running backs and defense in that game, so I agree. Darren Waller.
Yeah, I'm fine with Waller here. I mean, Steelers are kind of mid against tight ends.
You did not just say mid.
No, I'm saying like middle of the road.
No. But you did not just say mid.
Up. Yes, I did say mid.
39-year-old millennial. Calm down.
Shut up.
My 19-year-old brother says mid.
Mids are popping.
You old man. Jeez. Mid. Ugh, gross. Baseball friend 22. Could you guys help me?
It's the friendliest handle.
No, I'm
ever.
kidding. Sorry. No. Of course we're going to help you. It was just funny. It's like, could you guys help me? No. Go to the next question. Need to pick one more wide receiver and a flex. What do you guys think? So he needs a receiver and a flex. So obviously, if any of these running backs are taken, that's your flex guy. We got Zay Jones, Devonta Smith is on the waiver wire, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Garrett Wilson, Zach Moss, James Cook.
This is his team. He just needs to choose.
Okay.
One yeah.
I'm sitting there. Well,
you read pick as pick up.
Well, yeah. I was like, okay, Zay Jones, I can see being on the waiver wire in some leagues.
Yeah, that's fair.
I got to Devonta Smith. I'm like, no, pause.
What is going on here?
Man, that's okay. The 2 running backs are out, right? Like those, I would not.
Yeah, if I'm choosing between these wide receivers and these running backs, I'm not starting any of these running backs.
No shot. So Zay Jones and Jacksonville will play in New York tomorrow night. So it's a short week. They will avoid the storm. The storm will be coming in, but they will mostly avoid it. Devonta Smith and Philly are in Dallas on Christmas Eve, so technically a short week, I guess. DJ Moore is at home against Detroit. Again, technical short week. Michael Pittman has the longest week because he played Saturday and will play Monday night, but he has Nick Foles as quarterback. Garrett Wilson.
I was just going to say the longest week because of who is quarterback.
Yeah. I would go Devonta Smith and DJ Moore, but you could also tell me Zay Jones is fine. Short week I don't really like that, but I would go Moore and Devonta Smith.
Josh, I was going to let you go first.
DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, and Michael Pittman for me.
He only gets 2, Josh. Who are you benching?
Oh, 1 wide receiver and
one flex.
Oh, I thought it was 2. Never mind. I'll go Moore and Garrett Wilson then. I was kind of on the fence with Pittman.
So here's the best thing I can tell you is it's definitely between Smith, Moore, and Wilson because those are the three I was choosing between. I'm obviously big on the Eagles this week, so I'm going to stick with my guns there and go Devonta Smith, and I'm going to make your decision easier and agree with Joe and say DJ Moore.
Yeah, I think DJ Moore is the consensus.
Yeah, which is weird, but he's playing Detroit. So Fields or Lamar, is he even healthy?
The initial reports with him, the initial reports with Lamar had him coming back for this game.
Yeah,
he did not practice yesterday or Wednesday.
Yeah,
so
my worry with that is like he's not under a long-term contract. What does he owe the Ravens? Now he's obviously a competitor, and I'm sure he wants to compete. Yeah. But what does he owe the Ravens to come back and risk a further knee injury and not get a long-term contract? What does he owe them? He owes them shit. Is what he owes them. So, and honestly, yes, the wind in Chicago is probably going to be a big issue.
Yeah, plays great for Justin Fields.
Yeah, I was going to say plays fan-fucking-tastic for Justin Fields. So I am Justin Fields. Even if Lamar's healthy, I think I'd probably go Justin Fields.
Yeah, it's Fields.
Yeah, the Atlanta matchup makes it interesting, but it's Fields for me.
Yeah. Another one from Z Money. Tony Pollard or Kenneth Walker? Says they're both projected 15. This is a pretty good question. Kenneth Walker has a good matchup against Kansas City, and Tony Pollard has a decent matchup against Philly. I wouldn't say it's great, but David Montgomery looked pretty good on the ground against Philly, which Josh has mentioned that Philly can be beat on the ground. That is where they're more vulnerable than in the passing game. But we know Zeke tends to be the bell cow, and Tony Pollard is the guy that works into more of the gadget plays, but again, can catch you by surprise. So you're going with the more consistency of Kenneth Walker or the more gadgety and arguably the bigger upside in Tony Pollard. Josh, I'll start with you because it involves your team.
Yeah, the last 4 weeks, the Eagles are 16th most. So basically, like
literally
right down
the
middle of the road. Yeah. And the Chiefs allow 20.2 fantasy points to running backs. Eagles 22.2. I think you're fine either way. They're going to get Tony Pollard involved in the passing game. He's not going to be running up the gut against Sue and Davis and Linval Joseph anyway. But give me Walker. They've got to control the clock against Kansas City. It's quite literally the only way they're going to have a chance to beat them.
Wow, Josh, your entire analysis made me think you were going Tony Pollard, and I was like happy to agree with you. And then you're like, so give me Walker. The one thing I'll throw out, David Montgomery's 1 touchdown last week was a short passing touchdown. So I'll go ahead and take Tony Pollard and play for that same kind of game this week.
I'll take Pollard inside in, a controlled environment than Kenneth Walker. For the record, I like both of them. And
I do too. They're both top 15 backs for me.
If Aaron Jones just eats shit and doesn't, get an extra 4 fucking points, I have Kenneth Walker and Tony Pollard in Dynasty. So eat shit, Ryan. Michael,
they're gonna look great in that 5th place game, Joe.
Fuck you. Michael, this was the same question as Baseball Friend. Yeah. Yep, just wanted to highlight that. Czar, Waller, or Schultz? What's interesting? I'm going to put up Michael's second question in here too, because he asked Evan Ingram or Schultz. So is Schultz playable over either of these guys? Or do we like Ingram on a short week? Or we already talked about Darren Waller, who has the Saturday night football game in Pittsburgh.
Oof.
Yeah, oof is right.
Philly's good against tight ends. I think Schultz will be fine just from a target volume perspective, but Ingram's been hot lately. I'm fine with Ingram. I would go Ingram over Schultz, but Schultz over Waller.
Hot is an understatement for Evan Ingram. 162 yards and 2 touchdowns the other week. That would be a blaze, some might say. Okay, Ryan?
Oh, Waller is interesting just because you don't know, is he now a part of this offense? Like, it's been 1 game. I'm probably going to continue to ride the hot hand of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Evan Ingram, much to my chagrin last week. Ingram made me look stupid. I'm not going to fall into that trap again. So,
what about Waller Schultz?
Oh, I would have it. I think the upside on Waller is better. I would put Waller ahead of Schultz.
I would go Waller ahead of Schultz as well. And keep in mind, Evan Ingram played in the stadium for the first 4 seasons of his career. It's not like he's unfamiliar with MetLife Stadium. Yeah. So the cold, whatever elements, whatever it may be, he's used to it. So I like Evan Ingram this week. Trevor Lawrence, who's throwing him the ball, is a different question. Obviously played at South Carolina during his collegiate career and then went straight to Jacksonville. He hasn't really had to deal with too much shitty weather in his lifetime.
It's not that cold here right now. So.
Yeah, I was literally in Boston and it was 34 outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the hell am I in a jacket? I could be out here in a t-shirt. This is great. I'm Josh. I'm from Florida.
Yeah,
I'm a bitch. What?
I picked Donovan up in shorts and flip-flops today. So.
Yeah. Again, we're back to this point in time where you look at the forecast and decide which day you're getting gas on.
Oh, we talked about that. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. I sadly had to get gas right now in negative 38 degree weather, but I couldn't pick and choose that. If I could have, I would have waited till, next week when it's 30 outside. Okay. 2 tight end questions off the board. Goff or Daniel Jones by Clamped EZ. Goff is in Carolina. Daniel Jones in Minnesota. Josh.
Daniel Jones. Goff's on the road. Not about it. So.
DJ. Ryan.
Don't love Daniel Jones this week. Also on the road. I understand Minnesota's defense is trash. I think I'd go Goff. I don't like Carolina.
Goff on the road sucks, which is...
He does.
Yeah, really bad.
Jones at least gives you rushing upside. So I'll take that over whatever.
Yeah, and I want to say he plays a defense that allowed 33 points or 36 points, but let's be real here. The defense didn't really allow that many points. Their offense their coach just made terrible decisions, and Indy had the ball inside the opponent 30 twice. So you're kind of, your coach kind of screwed you. But to me, the Vikings defense can be beaten. Daniel Jones has shown he can do it. Gross hearing those words. Goff is a proven liability on the road.
Yeah.
Like
so bad.
So bad on the road. So I will go Daniel Jones as well. Start one, kill one, Matt Patricia or Joe Jones. It's like fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
And
Matt
all of them
Patricia's a big guy. He can play line for me. I'll start Patricia and kill Judge. So
Joe Judge at least knows how to coach special teams. Matt Patricia cannot coach.
Ooh, that's a fair
give
point.
Me Joe Judge.
Can I have a third?
Split the difference.
Can I?
Instead of fuck, marry, kill, Joe just wants kill. Can
I line them up? You say, you have Hitler, Mussolini, and
I'd shoot Toby twice.
I shoot Toby twice. You have Hitler, Toby, and Kim Jong-un in a room with a gun and 2 bullets. Who would you shoot? I'd shoot Toby twice. Ryan just spit take. Nice, clip it.
100% on Marlia's laptop.
Yeah, I have one, but can I just line them up in a row? And get like that Call of Duty collab? No, I mean this is very dark where we're getting here.
Yeah, we've
they both they both suck. They are so bad. I hate all of them. Christian Watson or J.K. Dobbins in a full PPR. Can we talk about a wounded calf and compare that to J.K. Dobbins? Holy God, his top end speed is non-existent right now. I will.
But yet he just keeps racking up yards. That's the thing, is they're feeding volume. So
I will go Dobbins. Yeah, Dobbins. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Okay,
Dobbins
great
for me too. Yeah.
Whew, thank God. Okay, glad we can all be wrong about that. Can't wait to get the family back together Saturday. Hell yeah, Christmas Eve. No, it's just Christmas Eve. It was just funnier if I said Christmas Eve. It's from something. I was watching Community and they said, it's December 10th. Because, if you've watched Community, you get the reference, but that's okay. Hey, guys, where you at in Scott Fish? Just real quick. I just wanted to check in with you guys on that.
Shut up. Fuck you.
What is Scott Fish?
Listen.
I was going to say, you were the last of all of us to get in, and you somehow got
I think I might have been the last person to get in the tournament.
You got the surprise invite.
Invite on the show. Now, here's why I will not be making the next round. Not for the fact that I finished, I'm currently ranked 410 in the top 30 teams need to advance. That's neither here nor there. Here's why I'm not making it. My quarterbacks are, Russell Wilson's healthy. Still not starting him. Jalen Hurts and Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson was a part of my downfall in Scott Fish too.
Who did I go pick up, Ryan? Who did I go pick up?
You better have picked up Gardner
Minshew,
motherfucking
Minshew. That's who I went and picked up. So if Jalen doesn't start, Gardner's my quarterback. But here's what I need to happen. I need Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, David Montgomery, and Reminder Stevenson to each have a 40 spot for me to even sniff it, because my receivers are Deontay Johnson, Zay Jones, and Devonta Smith. They're like, Joe, you got to have better options, right? Damiere Byrd, Michael Gallup, Ben Skoranek, Darius Slayton, Brashad Perryman, and KJ Osborne, who got 30 of his 103 points last week. You might be asking yourself, Joe, how the fuck did you make it this far? Great question, guys. My two kickers, who I have started for the last 7 weeks, have carried me through Scott Fish, Graham Gano, and Evan McPherson. Dogs. Absolute dogs.
Scott Fish scoring definitely favors kickers, that's for sure. Especially in these large tournament settings. Like I was talking with Carrington, one of our followers. He's been starting like 4 kickers for most of these weeks.
Fuck it.
Getting them into the semis. So yeah.
My 2 kickers have more points than all of my tight ends, and Scott Fish favors tight ends. Granted, David Njoku was hurt, and the other 2 are Tyler Conklin and Noah Fant, but let's not get into the logistics. Let's just know that my kickers have more points than my tight ends, and that's where we can go about the position. Okay. 4 upsides. Josh, 1 and 2 last week. Only one with a win. Congratulations, I think. Because you're 9 and 32 and 1 on the season. So congratulations. You have Richie James as a top 30 receiver this week in Minnesota. Najee top 12 against Vegas. Mark Andrews finds his way back into the top 5, right? He hasn't been there in a minute.
Yeah.
Finds his way against Atlanta, which Atlanta, God, bad defense. I feel like Richie James is probably the touching topic there, because Najee had a decent week last week. He had a good week.
He did, yeah. I'll touch really quickly on Najee. I mean, look, Franco Harris just passed away today. Immaculate reception. This is going to be the 50th anniversary. Talking about running backs with the Steelers. I think this is going to be a really emotional game for them. And I think Najee's going to come and play. And the Raiders, since they've allowed the 3rd most points per game to the running back position since week 7. They've been a little better of late, but they're still in the top 3rd of teams in giving up points to running backs. The big thing with Najee is he hasn't been contributing in the passing game. He literally saw 0 targets last week. They're getting Jalen Warren more involved and kind of, resting Najee more. But again, I think this is going to be one of those like emotional games, and they're going to want to run Najee, and I think Najee's going to want to run as a result. But Richie James, this one's pretty easy for me. Minnesota's the 3rd worst pass defense in terms of fantasy scoring to wide receivers since week 12. They've allowed 29.4 fantasy points just to the slot receivers. Like, that's how bad they are in the slot. Richie James, that's where he runs 82.6% of his routes there since week 12. He's tied for the team lead in touchdowns over the last 4 weeks with 2. He's the 2nd leading receiver behind Darius Slayton. This is where they're going to beat Minnesota's defense, is through the slot. And I think Richie James is going to see plenty of targets, enough to get him in the top 30, even though the wide receiver scoring has been so bloated of late that top 30 is kind of like you need 15 points to get there. And I think Richie James can do that this week.
I like it. I've been saying since last season that Minnesota's secondary is an absolute utter piece of shit. And hey, guess who's still employed? Number 3, Cameron motherfucking Dantzler. Hell yeah.
He's good for IDP purposes. He racks up the tackles. Works for me.
He literally, I think, is top 5 in cornerback tackles in the NFL because he lets up so many catches. Ryan, you're going with an all Philadelphia week, which I know is scaring the shit out of Josh, considering you have 8 total fucking wins on the season.
It's a very thematic show for me.
Yes, very. Gardner Minshew top 10 against Dallas. Love it. But
the
hype train is back. The hype train is back. he is going to take Jalen Hurts' job. Hype train is back.
Stop.
Jalen Hurts, MVP who? Gardner Minshew. This is Carson Wentz 2.0. This is Carson Wentz 2.0.
Stop.
AJ Brown, 2 touchdowns. So we know it's not happening. And dude, that is a lock. Death.
Right. Anytime. Yeah, that is literally the KOD right there.
Yeah.
The kiss of death.
Death, taxes, Ryan guessing someone will get 2 touchdowns and it not happening. Boom. And Ryan guessing a tight end will have any resemblance of points and them literally having 0 targets.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
That's usually how it
that
goes.
was my fullback fun as well. Whenever I would guess that a fullback would be involved.
Kyle Juszczyk has like 16 points the week before, has no touches.
No touches.
Next week.
No targets.
No targets. And then Devonta Smith, 15 fantasy points. Obviously, the big talking point here is Gardner Minshew. So tell everyone why Gardner Minshew is the absolute Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, the long and short of it is he's the kind of guy you want as a veteran backup for a guy like Jalen Hurts. 60 attempts last year, threw 4 touchdowns in those 60 attempts. One was a pretty good game. One was a pretty bad game. What's funny is the good game was the game that mattered. And this is a game that matters. Philadelphia needs to win this game. So I think he's going to come in. I think he's a seasoned vet. I think Mike Leach's funeral is going to play to his emotional. He's a very emotional player. I think it's going to be a big thing for him in this game.
And this game is in Texas too.
And the game is in Texas. And then you just have the fact that what he did last year, he did without AJ Brown, and what he's done for most of his career, he's done without great wide receivers. And he is coming into a established Philadelphia offense. He doesn't need to do everything. Dallas is pretty good against the quarterback, but they've given up points. Notably, they just gave up 300 yards and 4 touchdowns to Trevor Lawrence last week. My little anecdotal joke about all of this, coming into that game, Trevor Lawrence was 7-22. As the Jacksonville Jaguars starter. Gardner Minshew was 7-16 as the Jacksonville Jaguars starter. He's clearly better, so he's going to at least put up those same numbers. I'm not even remotely worried about it. But no, the weapons are there. You're getting Dallas Goedert back this week. I'm just very excited for what this could mean for Gardner Minshew. As a huge fan of his, obviously, I would like to see him get a start attempt again, and I'm hoping a big game here is going to lead to something like that.
If you would put Dallas Goedert as 15 fantasy points instead of Devonta Smith, I'd say you're getting at least one right.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert's going to be his man this week on Saturday.
I love the math comparison with Gardner Minshew. I mean, it makes more sense than Pro Football Focus's fucking rankings.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
Someone go look up who the number 2 receiver is in the NFL, because I guarantee it's fucking wrong according to Pro Football Focus.
I can pull that up. Give me a second.
It's got to be wrong. I want you know what? We're going to have a fun thing after I give my upsides. We're going to give the top 10 receivers in the NFL. We're going to fucking see how good Pro Football Focus is. My picks: Kenneth Walker, top 12 against Kansas City. Already kind of talked about him a little bit. DJ Moore, top 16 against Detroit. Also discussed him a little bit. Trace McSorley, top 16 against Tampa. Tampa sucks.
I love how Ryan and O bring out stats and Joe's like, Tampa sucks.
What stats do I need? Watch the fucking game. They are so bad. Now, you may be asking yourself, Joe, isn't it true that Trace McSorley, who has 1 game under his belt, does have the lowest expected completion percentage difference compared to his actual completion percentage, which was 23.5% this past week? Yes, I am well aware of the stat. Is Mac Jones right above him at that same exact stat? There's one quarterback worse than Mac Jones in terms of expected completion percentage to actual completion percentage. It's fucking Trace McSorley. So if Mac Jones can finish as a top 10 quarterback, so can this fucking scrub. So Trace McSorley will be a top 16 quarterback this week against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. There we go. How's that for fucking analysis?
God.
There's your stats, okay? There's your stats.
Expected completion percentage.
That's they said that. They said that on Boss Sports Radio. They were like, so it was expected completion percentage to actual completion percentage. Expected completion percentage for Mac Jones is like 62%, which for reference is dog shit.
Not good.
Not good. His actual completion percentage was like 41%. Spoiler alert, guys. Not good. Spoiler alert. So apparently it was a 20% difference. Trace McSorley's was like 21.5%. I forget the exact number. Mac Jones and Trace McSorley are basically the same fucking quarterback, except McSorley can run. So It's happening, folks. I have Trace McSorley finishing higher than Aaron Rodgers. How do you like that? Am I going to be right? No. Are you going to go fucking start Trace McSorley? No. So I know I'm not hurting anybody in this conversation. So, Josh, who are the top 10 receivers?
I was about to say, there might be some super flex leagues where people have to start Trace McSorley.
Okay, that's
Just throwing
fair.
that out there.
That's fair.
Okay.
Josh, who are the top 10 wide receivers?
Do you want offensive grade or receiving grade?
I feel like it's receiving grade is what they rank their top 10 off of for yeah, I think that's what they rank them off. So
starting at number 10 is Chris Olave.
No. Just
Garrett Wilson at 9.
No, again, no.
Yeah, this is weird.
CeeDee Lamb at 8.
Fine.
Cooper Kupp at 7.
Too low.
Yeah, it seems low.
AJ Brown at 6.
Fair.
Stephon Diggs at 5.
Okay. I feel like that's low, but
4 is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Fuck yeah, baby. Definitely too high. Let's get that straight. That's too high, but I love it.
Tied for second, Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Devontae Adams.
Okay.
And number 1 is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think Tyreek Hill should be 1. I think Justin Jefferson should be 1.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to have.
Hold on. Jamar Chase isn't in the fucking conversation? Really?
Missed games might be hurting him.
Jamar Chase is 11.
Cooper Kupp hasn't played in 4 weeks. What do you mean missed games?
My bad.
Fuck me. Okay, I mean,
Chase was 11. Waddle and Terry McLaurin tied at 12. Oh, you'll love this one.
McLaurin's that high, really?
Kadarrell Hodge is 14.
What?
Oh, I'm not even done. Come here. Put the headphones back on.
I don't have my headphones on yet. Hold on. He's on a fucking NFL roster? What?
Atlanta, I think.
Here's the fun one. Number 15, Laviska Shenault Jr.
He's a running back.
On 2 receptions? I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Dude.
21 receptions, actually.
Pro Football Focus is a joke. Laviska Shenault.
Yeah, I just did overall. I didn't, subtract it based on minimum requirements or anything.
Are we high? Wow. Okay. We're going to go through the downsides here. And then what we're going to do, Josh, is we're going to pull up the running backs because this is a fantastic exercise that I think we need to do, right? To show people that that's fucking horseshit. If I watch a Sunday night football game and I see Laviska Shenault as a starting receiver and it says Pro Football Focus is ranked 15th receiver out of 144.
You're not going to like the running back list.
Oh, I'm so excited. So please, God, please put Pierre Strong in the top 10. Like, please do it. Oh God, I hate it. Please hold that list because I'm very excited for it. Really quick, it is Zay Jones, G. It's Zay Jones for everybody. We don't like Olave in that Cleveland matchup. Yeah. Oh God, why'd you say that, Josh? Goddard or Knox? He brings up that Knox won last week, even though Knox
Knox never puts together back-to-back good games.
Well, it was about the matchups last week. Knox had a good matchup last week. It's not as good this week, and you're dealing with that win now. So
Goddard, yeah, I think everyone's Goddard here. Indoors, controlled environment. Yeah, Goddard. Okay. God, you know what's not bad? Manscaped.
Indeed,
you are correct. Manscaped is pretty awesome.
Code Club Fantasy. At checkout, 20% off. There's the banner so you can read it. If you are, for some reason, deaf and listening to this podcast, you can read.
Jesus.
What? Deaf people, they might have closed captions on.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying that that's a hell of a leap that you've made.
Listen. I went from Britt Flynn's favorite player in the draft, Treylon Burks, and did him in a Manscaped read. Okay?
You're right.
This didn't even crack the top 60 of my furthest jumps to get anywhere. Okay? I'm winning long jump competitions based off of the leaps I take. Use code Club Fantasy, 20% off and free shipping. And, if you're like my mom who has slacked off on some Christmas gifts this year, rightfully so for her, but if she needs some gifts that, may come after Christmas or may need some shipping, Manscaped right there. Don't even have to go. You don't have to go home. Just stay home. Don't even have to go to the store. Oh,
I love it.
It's fantastic. I think everything we've all used from them, from the lawnmower to the weed whacker, everything we've all loved everything that they have graciously supplied us with to talk about their products. So please, manscaped.com, use code ClubFantasy, 20% off and free shipping. Downside before that awful running back list. Taylor Heineke is benched for Carson Wentz this week against San Francisco. Now, this is coming from a guy who went 3-0 last week, did Josh Hudson.
Yeah.
So, starting off strong. No Panthers running back tops 8 fantasy. Wow, you are really putting that 3-0 record out there on the line here. No Panthers running back tops 8 fantasy points against Detroit. Literally, they need 10 yards and a touchdown.
Josh is all about this Detroit run defense.
Yeah.
They're the number 1 fantasy defense against running backs since week 7. So if you want to pull what they've done all year, this is how bad they were in the first 5 games, because I believe they've still allowed like the 4th most fantasy points to running backs since week 7. They're better than anyone at stopping running backs. Devonta Foreman has been awful in suspect matchups.
Yeah,
he has been off. He had a fairly decent one last week and had like 9 yards on 10 carries. Like, not it. Chuba Hubbard can probably do some damage in the air, but yeah, I think this is bold enough that, 8 fantasy points. I'm fading all my Panthers running backs against Detroit this week.
God, I love the absolutely bold take right there. I absolutely love it. And then Rachaad White is outscored by Leonard Fournette this week against Arizona. A lot of very, interesting ones to track around here. But Leonard Fournette will score more than Rachaad White. There you go, folks.
Yeah, everybody's on the Rachaad White bandwagon. And 2 of the last 3 weeks, Leonard Fournette has outsnapped him. And Rachaad White's fantasy points have done this the last 3 weeks. All the way down. So
I got him on his good.
I mean, this is a good matchup against Arizona. They need to run the football to get this offense going. Like, if they don't run the football, they're in a lot of trouble. But for me, they're going to lean on Fournette to do that. He's a bigger body. He can wear down a defense. And, they do still trust him in passing down situations. So
I was just looking to see where Alex Anzalone ranked in tackles because he's the main linebacker for Detroit. He has 105 total. I think I had him as a sleeper. I got really happy because I think I got a lot of shit for pulling Alex Singleton in my top 10 on our IDP show. He's currently has the 8th most total tackles in the NFL.
I won't say you got a lot of shit because there's no one really to give you shit. So
I got enough shit.
Because most of our viewers not really in tune with IDP.
Yeah.
I got enough shit. It was fine. Ryan, you were 1-2 last week. You have both Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson fewer combined fantasy points than Gardner Minshew. Okay. Oh, all of these are fewer fantasy points than Gardner Minshew. Okay.
There's a method to his madness. We went over this before you hopped in.
How dare I? How dare I?
That's what it's about, baby. The show is themed.
Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, and George Kittle all score fewer fantasy points. Not combined, just individually.
Yes.
Score fewer fantasy
you can
points.
combine the Washington running backs. I tried to be mildly bold there. So
CeeDee Lamb, George Kittle all score fewer fantasy points than Gardner Minshew.
Correct.
There you go.
And I know Kittle's probably the boldest one of all of this just because of what he did last week, but Washington far better against the tight end. I was a little shocked to dig into Washington's numbers against the tight end. Only 2 tight ends have scored 10 plus fantasy points against them in PPR. And they've only allowed like 3 tight end touchdowns this entire season. So I feel like Washington can get after the tight end. They can't stop the wide receiver.
To the moon with all those underneath dump offs, baby.
And so what's interesting is Washington also very good against the running back, but I took that completely out of the equation in this because I agree wholeheartedly. At one point, the Washington running backs in my little prediction here was Christian McCaffrey. And I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. And took it right out of there.
My boy Cam Curl.
Yeah.
Clamps on the tight ends, baby.
And so, yeah, Washington shuts the tight ends down. CeeDee Lamb, obviously, Josh is a proponent of what Philly's corners have done, though they have given up quite a few touchdowns lately. But Lamb did not score 13 fantasy points against them the first time they faced each other. So I'm expecting 20 points out of Gardner Minshew. It's pretty easy for me to say all of these guys are going to score fewer because it's the Gardner Minshew show. And guess what? Saturday start-sit show, it's going to be the Gardner Minshew show.
Of course it is. Myself, I have Ramondre Stevenson outside of the top 10 against Cincy. Pains me to say that. I need him to drop 50 points in Scott Fish.
Yeah,
but
it's heartbreaking.
DJ Reader, when he is in the lineup for Cincinnati, they're a top 5 run defense. When he's out of the lineup, they are a bottom 5 run defense. Statistically, they are statistically bottom 5. When he's in the lineup, they're top 5. Guess who's healthy this week? DJ Reader.
Yeah, it's
He's not going to stuff the stat sheet. Not going to do a lot of crazy things. He just fills the gaps where the running backs want to go. So they have to redirect, and ultimately they redirect into Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, Logan Wilson, whoever it may be. Tennessee Titans lose outright to Houston, and I didn't even know Ryan Tannehill was hurt. They lose outright to Houston, 100%. If they
Houston's been playing their ass off the last 2 weeks.
If they can be on the brink of beating Dallas and Kansas City, you know, the 2 quarterback combo of Jeff Driscoll and Davis Mills, electric.
They're basically doing exactly what New Orleans is doing with the whole Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill thing.
Yeah, but Jeff Driscoll's better.
When I see him throw deep touchdowns to Rashid Shaheed like Taysom Hill does,
hold on.
I'll agree.
That's another name. That's another name. This is why I fucking hate fantasy football. Rashid Shaheed was like
we talked about him on Saturday, actually.
I hate this game. I hate this game.
We had somebody who was in like a crazy deep, like 16-team league.
Yeah.
And was like absolutely desperate for a dart throw. And we were like, look, expect a 60-yard touchdown from Rashid Shaheed.
But like
on cue, baby.
but like in a normal league.
Shout out to Sam Holt and Joel Worth and Faith and myself for that one. It was
like in a normal league, like a 12-team, a 10-team, like deep leagues, I get that. No one in their right fucking mind put Rashid Shaheed in their lineup.
No.
That's gross. Okay. And I have Aaron Rodgers at the top 20 against Miami. Already talked about that. Real quick before we get into this amazing running back list that I cannot wait to freak out over. John Dixon asks Zay Jones or Christian Watson. A weird amount of Zay Jones and Christian Watson questions this week.
Well, it makes sense. If you've been active on waivers for the last month, these were the guys you were
you got them.
Yeah.
I had both of these guys in a lot of leagues. John, I talked about it earlier. I don't know when you tuned in. Christian Watson, I think, is going to have a lot of garbage time. I know I just said Aaron Rodgers outside the top 20. That could hurt me come garbage time, but I think Watson benefits from that, and also that fucking secondary is just
And if Zay
terrible.
Jones faces Sauce, as Josh brought up, it's a problem. So give me Watson here. So,
yeah, Christian Watson.
I'm not taking any overs on Zay Jones props. So you can pretty much, if anybody has a boom upside like Christian Watson does, I'm going that route instead of the safe play with Zay Jones, because that safe play, I think, is only like 5 fantasy points.
Starting with Scott Fish.
Yeah. Say a prayer, buddy.
Dude, there's no way. I went into the game last week against Ryan, and I was accepting defeat because I'm like, okay, I'm starting Desmond Ridder.
Zay Jones almost pulled you.
I saw that. And who was the one that you benched that actually, I think you had Zach Wilson. Yeah, if you'd started Zach Wilson, you win.
Yeah. Justin Herbert, man. Justin Herbert's a problem right now.
Dude,
not the right kind of problem.
I started Desmond Ridder, Jonathan Taylor, and Kendrick Bourne, and only lost by 4 points.
I don't think Bourne got you any points, did he?
Bourne had a target. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, look.
My team is built around a Los Angeles Chargers stack.
So. Yeah, right?
I was so close. And
you were.
So you know what? It was a good season. It was a good season.
It was a great season.
It definitely exceeded your expectations.
I was talking you up on Monday. I didn't want to lose to you, and I said it was going to be insufferable. So I'm glad it all went down the way it did.
I literally said, I'm like, Aaron Jones did this to me once when I was up 30,000 feet in the air in a plane. I swear to God, if he does it again.
Touchdown. I was shocked. I'm not shocked that he scored a touchdown. Just shocked that our game flipped the way it did.
Why? No.
Joe, stop.
It's funny. We're big enough that we have bots. It's cool. Czar, Rashad White, or Foreman. I could also pick up Moss or Deion Jackson. So Josh hates both of them.
Josh hates this entire list.
Yeah, I don't like either
Deion
of them,
Jackson.
but I'm still gonna take White with the PPR upside.
Deion Jackson.
Yeah, I think I'd go Rachaad White. So Joe, I was big Deion Jackson on Monday, and with some of the viewers talked to me a little bit about Zach Moss, and Deion Jackson might be in the doghouse, and I think I would lean Moss over Jackson, but I think I would take Rachaad White overall. So
Okay, I'll just go Rachaad White. I mean, I don't care in the situation. In all honesty, I'll go Rachaad White. I think they're all bad. I'll go Rachaad White.
I'll give you this advice because I don't care what your fantasy team does.
Wow.
No, I care about Czar. I just don't care about any of the guys he mentioned to us. Czar, another one, flex one, Watson, Goddard, Ingram, Hawkinson. He drafted Kelsey and hoarded waiver tight ends.
I love it.
Ingram?
Watson has the upside. No, Watson has the upside.
Watson definitely has the upside. Goddard's easily the safest for me in this list.
All right, I guess Watson.
If you only have one flex spot, I'm not about putting a tight end in that flex spot. Like if your lineup is like, 2 wide receivers and then 2 flex spots, sure, go Watson and Goddard. That's cool, but I don't like filling that like lone flex spot with a second tight end. It just I don't. Tight ends don't typically have the kind of upside that positional, running backs and wide receivers.
In a dynasty league, Josh and I are in. Keep in mind, neither of us made the playoffs. I at one point started 3 tight ends and 3 flex spots, and it's a required tight end league. So I had 4 tight ends starting.
I started Desmond Ridder in his first NFL start in a playoff game.
And almost won.
Almost fucking won. So if you want to almost win, Evan Ingram. If that's what you're going for, you want to almost win, Evan Ingram. No, Christian Watson. All right, Josh, what's this? I can't wait. Also, G says Foyesade Aluakon is his father. IDP dad.
IDP dad.
Dude, Aluakon.
Looks great.
Dog. Josh, go ahead. And end us on a good note with end us on a good note.
Thing as a good note with this list. Now remember, there's no minimum requirements. It's just straight up overall grade, doesn't matter how many carries, etc.
I feel like you're gonna say a guy who has like 3 carries on the season.
No, the lowest carry amount on this list is 15.
Jesus.
Which still isn't great. Okay.
It's gotta be
look, I can cut it with minimums if you want me to.
No, it's way funnier. It's gotta be Pierre Strong or Kevin Harris. It has to be.
Number 10, Brian Robinson.
Okay, it's high, but I'm not mad about it.
He's gotten really efficient over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it, but it's high.
Number 9, Ramondre Stevenson.
Too low. Too low.
Should be 1.
Number 8, Tyler Algier.
Based on
number 7.
So all right, so he shouldn't be 7. But I wouldn't say that's incredibly egregious.
I would, but okay.
I'm actually really surprised that Algier's had 148 carries. I didn't realize he had that.
That's what I'm saying. I felt like he's touched the ball.
I mean, he averages 5 yards a carry.
No, say he's like that's why I don't see it as
Stevenson averages 5 yards a carry and has 60 receptions to go with.
Hold on.
This is an overall grade. This is just running grade.
Oh, okay. Misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought this was running back grade. So
Ramondre's a better runner. Let's get that straight.
Well, yeah, I'm not conceding.
But I knew Algier averaged 5 yards carry. That's why I'm not crazy mad about it. But he should not be 7. He should be 19. Okay. That's not as egregious as fucking Kaderil Hodge, who shouldn't even be ranked.
That's pretty bad. Oh, don't worry, you're gonna flip your shit over number 7.
Can't wait.
Ty Johnson.
How many? He's
got to be the 15.
He's the 15 carry one. Yeah. He does average 6.3 yards per carry.
I don't care.
And 5.2 yards after contact per.
Yeah, didn't he break he broke a 49-yard run on one of his carries to end a game or some shit like that.
And that's the thing. That's what Pro Football Focus that's one of their big focuses with running backs is forced missed tackles and yards after contact. I'm just
I'm just trying to run through.
I mean, if this is 45, 50 carries, he's a lot further down.
He's not even ranked.
But
yeah, exactly.
But what did Deontay Harris do to get 2? Is what I'm trying to get through my head. Continue. Sorry. Number
6, Nick Chubb.
Too low.
Tied for 4th, Aaron Jones.
Too high.
and Elijah Mitchell.
Way too high.
Number 3, Tony Pollard.
Too low. It's had a great year.
Yeah.
Number 2, this one's fun. Jordan Mason.
Who?
What?
Wait, who? Who's no, like this is all seriousness.
He's the current backup in San Francisco after all of the injuries they're dealing with.
And number 1, which I'm perfectly fine with, Josh Jacobs.
Oh, okay. So McCaffrey doesn't even make the list. Interesting.
McCaffrey.
Brian, Jordan Mason
Well,
is way
what
better.
I found interesting is that Eli Mitchell and Jordan Mason have both made the list, and Mitchell wasn't really.
Where
a
do you
backup for any
think
of his
Christian
time.
McCaffrey is?
Based on what you're saying, 73rd.
Where? Hold on. It's where do I want him? 2. Where
No,
do I
said,
think?
where do you think?
Where
he
do I
is?
think he is? 27.
Tied for 41st. Do you know who he's tied with?
Can I have his rough statistics? Because there's no way I'm guessing.
Hang on.
Kareem Hunt.
Derek
way.
Watt.
Oh my God.
Fullback.
Oh my God.
A fullback. So you're telling me? Wow. You're telling me
Kyron Williams is ranked ahead of Christian McCaffrey.
why
All is
do
as it should
people pay for this fucking website?
Well, to be fair, we pay for this fucking website.
I'm looking right at you.
I don't pay attention to the grades. I pay attention to the other stats that I
That's
actually
fine.
deem meaningful.
That's fine. So because I've had people tell me, and I might be wrong. Remind me the left tackle for the Giants. Why am I forgetting his name?
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas. I said after this year, if Andrew Thomas has a good year, I will admit that I'm wrong on Andrew Thomas, but he was a fucking bum, in my opinion. Everyone's like, oh, he's the top-rated left tackle in Pro Football Focus. I'm like, yeah, and fucking Deontay Harris was wide receiver 2 to them. And Christian McCaffrey is apparently running back 41 with a fullback.
No, here's the thing. Andrew Thomas is ranked high because he's a good pass blocker.
He can't run block, though, right?
He cannot run block to save his life. And that was the story going into this league, which that's why I thought it was so weird that Gettleman drafted him, because Gettleman wanted to run the football.
The
Hold
whole
on.
point was for them to run Saquon Barkley.
Exactly. So it's like, why would you take a guy that struggles run blocking but is an elite pass blocker?
Time out. Gettleman's dyslexic, so he just got him messed up.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, Andrew Thomas is the 5th ranked tackle in terms of pass blocking.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, and that's fair. Okay, now pull up
Run
the tight
blocking,
end.
it's a different story.
Yeah.
He is tied for 18th. And then overall, well, he's still 4th overall, but it's because he has such an inflated pass block.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So pull up the tight ends. Ryan, your stream of the week. Guess who the fucking quarterback is, everybody? Gardner Minshew. If you didn't, he might have been 50% available in Yahoo leagues.
I was hoping he didn't get above 50%. He actually only hit 16%, which was a little shocking to me.
Really?
But I was
Interesting.
talking with Josh. I feel like a lot of these percentages stayed low because there's probably only 4 teams active right now.
True.
And if you didn't lose, you're not really hunting. So yeah, Gardner Minshew, obviously. Chigoziem Okonkwo is going to be my tight end. I'm mildly nervous sans Ryan Tannehill, but I'm hoping Malik Willis recognizes who his weapons are. These guys have no wide receivers to throw to. 21 targets over the last 4 weeks. He's actually the tight end 3 in all of fantasy. 17 receptions, 202 yards, and a touchdown, plus 2 carries. And we've all seen Jonnu Smith has shown in the Titans offense, tight ends carrying the football can be valuable. And one of those carries, if I remember correctly, was in the red zone. So
Fun fact about Chigoziem Okonkwo, tight end 3 in terms of Pro Football Focus grading.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
Hey.
That's when it matters, is when it fits our narrative.
Hey,
exactly.
Hey.
They are fucking geniuses.
Hey, is it too high? 100% yes.
Yeah.
It is way too high.
But keep
Is
in mind,
it-
every other tight end.
Now
in the
this,
league
again,
sucks, too.
I just pulled up receiving grade. I did not pull
Yeah.
up overall because
Actually, pull up the overall grade. That's what I want to know for tight ends. Because
He's 5 overall.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, don't tell me the rest.
I mean,
of the
Kelsey's
list.
1. Kelsey's 1.
He should
I feel
not
like that's...
be 1. He can't block.
Well,
He
to be
can't
fair,
block.
his pass blocking grade is way lower, but his receiving grade is just so elite.
I was going to say his
run
receiving grade
blocking
is going to carry everything up.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be 1 because
David
he can't
Njoku, number 2.
Okay, that's fair.
Interesting.
We'll pause on that. Chigoziem Okonkwo shouldn't be 3. Is it right though? 100% it's correct.
The rightest thing ever.
It's the rightest thing ever. And then Ryan, you have Cleveland's defense against New Orleans for the aforementioned.
Bad weather.
Is there going to even be any offense?
Yeah, it's bad weather. I struggled with defense this week. I almost considered Tennessee, but the loss of Ryan Tannehill, and they've actually just been very bad lately.
They've been
I
terrible.
want to consider Josh's new favorite Detroit Lions defense. Still just wasn't ready to trust them on the road, and Carolina has actually not played terribly against fantasy defenses lately. The Cleveland game, you have a lot of things going for you here. You have weather. Cleveland has like 5 consecutive multi-sack games going for them, and New Orleans is giving up multi-sack games. You're looking for sacks and turnovers. New Orleans actually has not turned the ball over in 4 or 5 consecutive games, but that just tells me they're due. So that's what I'm looking for them to do in this one. Let's see some turnovers in that weather.
Bettor's mentality. They're
exactly.
due. Yes. G says Ryan is actually Gardner Minshew in a different life, identical twins.
I love it.
Yes, absolutely fantastic.
I won't deny that the long hair and mustache was a definite bite on the Gardner Minshew look from years ago.
Now, if you don't show up wearing the headband on Saturday, I'm going to be very upset with you.
I'll figure the head. I was trying to figure it out for tonight. We're not a big headband house, so I'll have to see what I can get figured out. So
you just have one lying around.
Yeah.
Before Josh gets into his tight end lineup, my fade is Jamar Chase.
His tight end lineup.
Yep. My fade is Jamar Chase.
That's gonna bite you.
Marcus Jones.
Listen, dude, I don't know if Marcus Jones is Deion Sanders or something, but that man can do everything. And Tyler Boyd is my play. Miles Bryant's in the slot. Miles Bryant sucks. Tyler Boyd. Josh, please give me the top 10.
Overall or just receiving?
Overall tight ends. I'm still pissed Kelsey's 1, but yes, overall tight ends.
Oh, you're going to flip your shit on number 10.
Can't wait.
Taysom Hill.
That you can't know. He's not even, but no. But depth chart, why that doesn't
I was going to say, he shouldn't have a receiving grade or a blocking grade, so I'm not quite sure how this works.
You know what? He actually is,
he's tight end 10 with
he's
what,
number
2 catches?
4 in tight end pass block grade.
Yeah, but he has 2 catches.
When has he played on a pass block? He would be the quarterback.
He blocks on special teams. Dude,
he has 2 pass block snaps all year.
And he's done so great on them.
That's the worst one. That's the worst one. Jordan Mason at 2, fine. Taysom Hill at 10.
Oh my god.
He has 2 pass blocking snaps in probably 2 receptions?
Yeah, that's rough.
That's bad. 9. Continue.
Oh my god. 9 is George Kittle.
Too low.
Honestly, I found this really interesting. They have him as a really bad pass blocker this year. Now, again, I don't pay near as much attention, and I know he overall in his career he's been really good.
Pass block.
I was just gonna say, why is pass blocking this big?
It should be run blocking.
So
yeah, run blocking should. Run blocking.
I'm looking at this is just pulling it up on the receiving end so I can get the receiving score. But I mean, I could pull up the run block stats.
No,
you're fine. It's just interesting to me that they care about that for the overall ranking when they shouldn't.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Well, I mean, they're going to care about they take all the cumulative grades and add it up. Like they'll add run blocking into it as well, but
too low.
Number 8 is Michael Pruitt. Michael, however it is.
Really? Really?
Yeah. He has 36 pass blocking snaps, so a bit of an improvement.
He can block, but he can't do anything else.
Yeah, right. Tied for 6, Mark Andrews and Dallas Goedert.
Goddard's fine.
Those are guys that should be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Andrews is too low.
5 is Okonkwo, as I previously stated.
Dog.
4 is ridiculous. Ben Ellefson from Minnesota. That's their third.
He's been on the IR the whole fucking season. What does he have?
Well, but again, it's what he did those 4 games is what mattered. Pat Freiermuth at 3.
He's had a really good year. That's fine.
He has been a solid play this season.
Well, and that's the thing. The top 3, like if you told me these 3 guys were in the top 5 or top 10, I'm fine with that. Freiermuth at 3 and Njoku at 2 and Travis Kelce at 1.
And Njoku at 2 is too high, but he's also had a fantastic year.
He's had a great year.
How much pass blocking has he done? Because that's never been his game.
5.
Well, blocking in general has never really been in Njoku's game.
He sucks.
They almost shipped him out to the slot. So.
I actually want to pull up.
That's why they got Harrison Bryant to block.
Yeah.
I mean, Njoku as a run blocker is a 58 grade, so not great.
Terrible. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, I mean, these top 6 guys, very mediocre at run blocking.
Kittle's got to be 1, right?
Kittle's a 68.6, so he's at 11 overall.
Okay, that's fine. They bring in blocking tight ends. That's fair.
Yeah,
okay,
and this is what I find funny. The highest rated run blocking tight end is Isaiah Likely, and he was not known for blocking in college.
No.
He was strictly a receiving tight end. So I find that really interesting.
Where's Kelce? Where's Kelce in run blocking? This is the true test if that stat is bullshit right there.
No, he's down the list. He's
he's inside
46.
the top. Okay. Fine. I will heed that. That's fine. He sucks. He cannot run block.
I mean, if you look at it this way, he's below the 31 other starting tight ends in the NFL, and that's where he should be.
Yeah, fair. One last question from Cedric Deslages. I'm saying the last name wrong, but I tried. Keenan Allen or DeAndre Hopkins? This is a fairly good question, but because DeAndre Hopkins has the GOAT Trace McSorley as his quarterback, and that is Sunday Night Football, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And Keenan Allen is Monday Night Football. It's French. So Deloges. That's definitely, we both were definitely wrong. It wasn't even close. That we were both wrong. And Keenan Allen, obviously normal matchup against he'll probably see, why am I blanking on his name? 23 in the slot. Holy shit, Kenny Moore. He'll probably see Kenny Moore.
Well, Moore was out last week.
I know, and that's why I was confused, but I'm just assuming he'll be back this week. If he doesn't see Kenny Moore, it's Keenan Allen by a landslide. But
even if he sees Kenny Moore, it's Keenan Allen by a landslide.
Yeah. I was saying, I think it's Keenan Allen regardless. But again, we've seen, if you put the ball in DeAndre Hopkins' airspace, it's getting caught. In his relative direction, it's getting caught. So McSorley doesn't need to be on point. And DeAndre Hopkins could be blanketed with coverage. He'll still catch the football, which is why this is still an argument.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is open on every play. So this is why it's also not an argument. Yeah. Keenan Allen.
I'm not benching Keenan Allen for anybody tied to Trace McSorley.
Hey, that's a top 16 fantasy quarterback, Trace McSorley.
What I will say,
for what it's worth, go ahead, Ryan.
I'm choosing between Hopkins and Mike Evans in the league where I beat Joe, and I don't know which one to start. So
it's Keenan Allen for me. But for what it's worth, the last professional touchdown pass that Trace McSorley had, it was to Hollywood Brown, who is also his teammate here in Arizona. So
there you go.
Goated.
Baltimore connection.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Really humbled ourselves here.
It's got to be Deloge or Deloge. I just don't know which it is.
Whatever it is, I think it's way cooler than what we're making it. In all honesty, I think it sounds way better than anything we've ever even uttered here. So, Cedric, I've never seen your name before. Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah.
Hope you subscribe, because once we hit 500, which we are currently at 490, so we're 10 away. Once we hit 500, excuse me, we're doing a giveaway where we spin a wheel, and except this time you actually get to pick your prize. So we don't actually get to. We don't force one upon you. You actually get to pick.
You get to choose one of 3. I have a signed Stephon Diggs Bills jersey, a signed Nick Chubb Browns jersey, or a Mark Andrews signed Ravens mini helmet.
Yeah. and he has officially subscribed. And
Yes,
for those
sir.
of you that are fans of Tim Burton's show or something like that on Netflix, there's a skit. Yeah, I'd say Keenan Allen is a reference to, yeah, I'd say that'll do. That'll be just fine. That and the ongoing joke in the Zollo household currently is the Burger King commercials. So the chicken.
I hate that fucking commercial.
Oh, Ryan, it is amazing. You want to know the newest one they have? Whopper,
That's the one that-
Whopper,
that's the one that
single,
stuck in my
double,
head.
triple,
Yeah.
Whopper. Heard it on the radio today. I love it.
It's amazing how much money the people that write those jingles make.
I'm telling you, like they say, literally the people that wrote the Liberty Mutual one, Liberty. It's catchy. It's catchy. It works.
All you got to do is get it stuck in your head. I'm literally think I was singing that one today.
Whopper.
That one,
And
man.
you know the best thing is it's where like it's sticking in your head. It's working. You know, Dilly Bud Light, that got turned down by 5 different ad agencies. They said, don't do it. It's stupid. Bud Light believed in their thing so much they went on with it. It is the best promotion they've ever done.
Yeah, and then it became Philly after the Super Bowl.
Yep. Stick to your guns. Stick to your gut if you believe it. That's why I hate stats and Pro Football Focus. Thank you for watching, folks. Reminder, any last-minute Christmas gifts, use code Club Fantasy, 200% off, free shipping, manscaped.com. We all love all of the products they bring us. Lawnmower, weed whacker, ball deodorant, ball spritzer, underwear. Did I miss anything?
The best travel bag to carry.
Oh, yes.
Around in.
Yes.
Highest quality.
It was hidden in our little
Yes.
boxes. It was hidden.
Yeah, it was underneath everything. Yeah.
Yes, they hid the best for last. All leather. I love it.
Really nice.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, when you pick it up, you're like, dang, that looks small. It fits a lot of stuff in there. Everything. And the cool thing too, there's like a little pouch too that I don't think you realize you can actually put like your trimmers for your razor in there. So like they've thought of like the little things that you might not see in a
understand their
traditional-
product.
Yes, you might not see in a traditional thing. G's very angry that you do not like. It's his favorite jingle. You can't run from it. It'll never die.
It will not.
Chicken. Oh,
it's the Whopper one. I don't know what it is. It just
Whopper.
bothers me so much.
It's so Whopper. Single, double,
let's keep doing
triple,
it.
Whopper. Follow. I can't even do it for Club Fantasy. I can't do it off the cuff. But follow Club Fantasy on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL is clubfantasyffl.com. Josh, myself, Ryan, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for indulging in the bullshit that we handle every single week. It is so much fun. Semifinals. Good luck this week. We hope to have most of you in the finals next week. If not, we also hope that, we can help you avoid losing in the toilet bowl. Elixirs, we're looking at you, my friend.
Oh, wow.
Dude, he had
to shout him out. Come
He's
on.
had a rough
he
season.
had a
He hasn't
rough,
been on the show at all tonight, and you're still calling him out. That's
listen,
rude, man.
he's had a rough season, okay?
Yes.
And he deserves a shout out for sticking through it and being a fan for, I think, 2 seasons now at this point. I feel maybe even 3 if he's been with us for a while. So we appreciate you, Elixirs. Appreciate all you. Czar, Cedric, welcome to the show. G, Faith, everybody. We can't list them all, but we appreciate all you guys. Always remember, defense wins championships, offense wins fantasy football. We will see you next week.